Okay, wir sind mal kurz bei Fender rein, weil es gibt eine schöne neue Gitarre von Fender und zwar die Elvis Presley Kingman. Die hat er gespielt, hier oben in dem Film Clambake. Keine Ahnung, wie der auf Deutsch hieß, aber der absolute Knaller an der Gitarre ist nicht nur, dass es eine Fender Akustik ist und dass sie eine Strat-Kopfplatte hat, nein. Guckt euch mal den Ham-Tag an hier. Ein Wackel-Elvis. Also, schon allein dafür lohnt es sich doch, die Gitarre zu kaufen. So, gucken wir weiter nach den Bassamps. Die haben wir gestern Abend vergessen, aber jetzt holen wir es nach. Okay, wir haben was ganz Neues bei Fender. Und zwar den richtigen Angriff auf die High Watt. Und das ist jetzt nicht auf Marke bezogen, sondern richtig großen Boliden im Basssegment. Top-Teile, Boxen 8x10, 6x10. Neben mir steht Jay. Jay, nice to meet you, man. Nice to see you. And you're the man for the bass amps. That's right. At Fender. And there's something that looks familiar, but it's so cool sounding. You already heard a little bit of it. So tell me, what's in there?
What we have is a new line of professional bass amplification. Of course, when you look at the cosmetic, it really tugs at the heartstrings. It's the kind of visual bass amp that lots of artists have been asking us for a long time, and many dealers have been saying, please give us the 60s blackface look, so we have it. To complement the cosmetic is some really great ingenuity. It's a 2-channel amp, right? So this first channel here is a passive tone stack. It's the same kind of tone stack that you'd find in a twin reverb or a deluxe reverb or a dual Showman. It's got that classic old school Fender warmth. It sounds a little bit like this. So each note kind of gets a little hug on it. It's like a nice warmth kind of a thing. We have a deep and a bright that you can pull out and access here. And they tailor the sounds just a little bit. Nice and bright if you want it. I can also go over to this second channel here, which is an overdrive channel. First I'll blend it clean and switch over with the foot switch. And you get this kind of a but I can also start blending in this overdrive here. To get full on. So it's big sound, but you can also blend the clean sound back in by turning this one over here. And at that point, it's like you have the clean sound and the dirty sound together. And for bass players, we want that overdrive, but we don't want to lose the bottom pillow from the clean channel.
Yeah, you can't get that with a solid state amp, and you can't get it with a pedal in front of it. That's
the sound, right? That's the tube overdrive sound. And then you have a master volume, which with a neat little feature, you can just pull this out and it mutes the amp, allows you to use the tuner out. You can tune quietly. So this is the Super Bassman. It's a 300-watt head. Here's a shot of the back of the heads if you like to see. This is the Super Bassman right here. You can see the 6550 power tubes there in the back and the fan. And then this is the little brother here. This is the Bassman 100T. This is the same preamp section as the Super Bassman, but it has 4 6L6 tubes giving you 100 watts of power. You'll also notice we have this thing called automatic bias. And if you look on the back of the amps here, you can see automatic bias on the 300, on the Super Bassman. And here's the automatic bias on the Bassman 100T. Now what that does, that constantly monitors your power tubes. And if they slide out of bias, it brings them back in. And it can make corrections plus or minus to keep you in a safe zone. It'll also give you an orange light to alert you that maybe it's time to investigate starting to change your tubes, you know? So you've got those two heads, and then I'll quickly show you right here, you got an 810 cabinet. So that's 8 10-inch speakers. Next to it here, we've got a 610 cabinet, 6 10-inch speakers. And then over here, we've got a 4x10 and a 1x15.
So loaded with Neos?
So these are all Eminence neodymium drivers. And we're going to try to hang on with these. Everybody knows that there's trouble getting neodymium, but we've got a supply of these, so we're going to offer them up and see how long it takes us to go through them. All right, so 4 cabinets, 2 heads, Lightweight, full-size cabinets, all tube heads with plenty of functionality. One other thing I want to show you. Come over here to look at the back of this. This is the Bassman 100T. You can see you can choose between 100 watts, 25 watts, or silent recording mode. So maybe you want to play full power, or maybe you want to put it in 25 watt mode and mic a cabinet at a low volume, or maybe you want to put it in silent record mode. Now the 100 here has an internal power soak, so you can put it in silent mode, record it without any cabinets connected, and you can get the mojo of the power amp overdrive because the XLR signal picks up after the power section. So you get that gritty overdrive that you can only get from a power amp. So that's one of the special things about the 100T. So whether you want the big full-powered Super Bassman or the little brother 100T and the assortment of cabinets, you're going to get a high-quality product that's all tube, very versatile, and already used by guys. If you look up here, you can see Mike Dern is on board with us. Tony Franklin, the great Tony Franklin, Fretless Monster, is on board. Over here you can see Matt Freeman from Rancid. He's on our website doing a video with it right now. Mikey Way from My Chemical Romance. And we got John Jameson from Delta Spirit. So basically, we've got a handful of artists, and we've just now launched the product. We've got a lot of artists coming on board. You're going to see a lot of this gear showing up at concerts and backline and in videos and on TV. So this is the big push for us this year, the Bassman Pro family.
Man, thank you very much. It really, really sounds good. Klingt wirklich super. Also reinkommen, testen. One question, shipping?
Now.
Also kommt rein. Checkt's an, wird die nächsten Wochen bei uns aufschlagen. Probiert's aus. Klingt echt hammerhart. Hey, thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Have a nice show.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, die nächsten News bei Fender. Mustang Amps kennen wir schon. Eigentlich so der beliebteste Amp im Moment bei uns. Jetzt gibt's was Neues. Neben mir steht Rick. Rick, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, this is the new Mustang floor pedal. What's that all about?
Well, we've done very well with the Mustang line up to this point, and we thought it would be a great way to foray into our first pedal board that we've done. So what we've done is we've taken pretty much the internal parts of a Mustang 3 through 5, and we've put it in a floor model so that you get all those great effects and amp modeling in a floor system, but you can use it in so many other ways. It's got 100 presets. We've also included this time an expression pedal that's actually going to help create different textures using expression. So you can use it for fuzz, you can use it for delay, you can use it for any of the parameters that are within the floor system. On top of that, it's got the ability, it's got XLR out, so you can record directly. It's got 8-inch in and out, so you can record or use your iPod or headphones. And it sounds great. You know, it's one of those things where you can plug it into a PA, and it has a global system that'll actually help it sound good through a PA or through an amplifier. You can turn off all the amp modeling and just use the effects, or you can put it in between in the effects loop and use the modeling that way too. So using the global switch is an easier way to make it sound great no matter what you're playing through.
Okay, and you got a USB connection to
Yes.
have it connected to the computer?
Yes, and then it also comes with Fender Fuse, which we've already debuted with the Mustang product. So it's fully compatible with that, where you can do extra manipulation through the computer with the Fuse software.
For those who don't know the software, we have it up here. So you can see all the amps and all the effects.
Yes, yes. So as I turn through things or do things, it's going to actually change what happens there, but you can actually do deeper editing with the Fuse software.
Okay. You know when it will be available?
It's looking like it's going to be available around January or February.
Okay, soon.
Yeah, yes, very soon.
Okay, cool. So then we got a new amp over here, I think. Then this one looks pretty much like a race car.
That's really precisely the point of what we wanted to go for. It's called the Machete. It's really a very different amp for Fender musical instruments. What we've done is we've decided to start from scratch with an entirely different circuit. So the cleans are decidedly different from the standard Fender cleans, and the overdrive is far more aggressive than most of our other amps. So it'll do everything from jazz to funk to metal.
Tube or solid state?
It's all tube. It has two 6L6s, and tons of preamp tubes. It has digital reverb, and we went with that because we felt that it would sound better with the more aggressive sounds. But we've also included other abilities like the tuning knob and the damping switch to help fine-tune your sound, much like some of the other high-level amplifiers.
It's not a built-in tuner for your guitar, it's a tuner for the amp.
Yes, it's tuned within the amp so that you can actually adjust where the EQ hump happens in the sound. You actually can move that. So it's not a mid switch, but it actually changes the EQ on the mids. Yeah. So it makes it very, very flexible amp to play.
Power?
50 watts. It's closed back. It has a Celestion Vintage 30 speaker. Tons of bass, so for people that like a lot of low end, it's a great amp.
There's another amp over there, Super Champ, with an external cabinet on it.
Yes, correct. It's an update on our Super Champ series. These are called the Super Champ X2s, available as a combo and in head form. What we've done is people have really liked these amps, so we've done just some minor modifications to help make it a better amp. We've included a tap tempo for the delay. We've actually updated some of the sounds to use some of the Mustang software to get better tones. And on top of that, it actually communicates with Fuse as well. So when you have the 16 presets, you can actually do deeper editing in the presets and get the sounds that you want. So if you have 16 ones that you want to keep that are different from what are stored in there, you can do that with Fuse, which is great. And yes, the new thing is that we actually have the smaller head with the cabinet, which is a 112 cabinet for deeper low end. It's closed back. So sounds great.
Just with one cabinet, or can I run it with two?
It's just for one cabinet. But we do know a lot of people that actually use the combo and have plugged it into large cabinets with great success too. That's part of the reason why we wanted to make it with the cabinet.
Okay, great. What else? Little baby over there?
That's a part of our new Pawn Shop series amplifiers. Actually, we have the Greta and the Excelsior. The Greta is 1 watt clean, 2 watts dirty. It's 2 knobs. It's a very different amp from something like the Machete, where it's almost harkening back to vintage days, amps that could have been. So what's great about that little amp is that a couple of knobs, a VU meter, so when you're playing you can see that, but you can also use it with an external cab. You can use it as a preamp into an amplifier, and you can use it to play your iPod, so you have a stereo, tube stereo for your iPod, which sounds great. It's perfect volume for playing at home or having in your office.
And this one over here looks pretty unique, pretty old.
That's the other one in our Pawn Shop series, the Excelsior. Very different circuit as well. We actually, this time we put a 15-inch speaker in it. Just 2 knobs. One controls a bias tremolo, and the other you turn up the volume and let it rip. It sounds great. We have 3 different inputs on it, guitar, microphone, and accordion. Each one does sound different. We've tuned each one differently, so you have all kinds of different tonal variations with it.
I think that's interesting for harp players as well.
It is, yes, for harmonica players, singers, other instruments. It's something very different from anything that Fender has done before, so it's another nice palette to use in an arsenal for a guitarist.
So great. These are the news. Mustang, the amps. Okay. And I like this one so much. Maybe you can play something with that. Just for the outro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Have a nice Namm show. Bye.